All right, it's been a minute, so I figured I'd do a little recap on where we are with the Savage 25 build, rebuild. So far we've taken it all apart, cleaned every nut, bolt, component. I've rebuilt one of this is the front end clip, so rebuilt everything, put it back together. I have taken apart the rear clip, including the differential, the hubs and axles. As I did that, I kind of looked at a couple things and noticed that we had a broken tooth on the, I guess, the pinion gear in the rear differential. And then I kind of started looking at the engine and seeing what I needed there, because I'm realizing these parts are not easy to find. So as you can see, I've been picking up some components about the tune pipe. I got some RC, since I've never had one of these before, I got the RC fuel pack, which comes with a glow plug igniter. I got some actual nitro. I got, a little fuel can, etc. I got some fuel line, so some things for the engine. I also got some, well, I bought it twice, but basically the spur gear, so a 47 tooth. And then I got a kit, which has another couple pieces that I realized I needed as I started to kind of look at it some more. And that's kind of been the issue with this. I'm working through it as I go and realizing that there's pieces that I don't have, and it's taken a while to find them on eBay, order them, etc. So coming up, we are going to put together the rear clip. We're going to clean up the transmission. So I don't even know what this gearbox looks like inside. You can see that the shaft there is kind of rusty, so I don't know what I'm expecting. Overall the condition of this thing has been pretty good, but it definitely needs some cleaning at least. And if this rear differential is any indication, it might need some new gears within there. I did get a new some new electronics. The old one was like an AM transmitter with the old crystal setup in it, and I did not have a receiver. The truck, again, I bought it on eBay, did not come with a receiver, so I bought a new set, so 2.4 gigahertz here. I went with just a battery pack, a kill switch. I've been messing around with the servos, making sure those worked, and looks like the servos do work, but I needed a couple pieces like a servo horn, so I ordered those as well. So I've kind of been picking away and trying to figure out what I need ahead of time so I can order it. Again, not an easy process. Been going on eBay, going on Amazon, been going to my local shop, and picking up those pieces. So, we'll go through some of the things I ordered, but one thing I did get was a pull start conversion. So the original setup was a roto start, but frankly, I didn't have any of the pieces for it, not even like the back plate with a roto start gearing or anything. So I just got a pull start converter. And then I've got some packages here that we'll go into with some pieces that I need, including this universal kit of screws and such that hopefully will work with a lot of the pieces that I have. So right now we'll get back into putting the rear clip together. You can watch me do that, and then we'll take it from there. Here, oh, check this out, man. This is so cool. This is like a trip back in time. Here I've got a bunch of plastic steering parts. So this has, I believe, my servo horn that I need, and anything I might need to rebuild my steering. Some thread locker for the metal parts. You can see I've got some different pieces for the engine. I'm really excited to work on that. There's some tools. I think there's a little kit that I bought. So a couple pieces for that. Again, fuel line. spur gear and various parts for the drivetrain. And I'm realizing I did not get the new pinion. So we'll get started on this anyway and rebuild things. I'll have to order a new replacement pinion for the drive shaft. I'm sorry, for the differential. And we'll take it from there, but let's start building that rear clip. All right, so here's the pieces for the rear clip. I'm gonna look at the front clip for reference. And that was my intention, was to do one at a time because I don't know how these things go together and I've never done it before. So here's my front clip for reference, and I'm just going to start putting it together. So I think I'll start with like the rear plate here. And actually I'll start with the differential. I think that's what I did last time. we are getting pretty close. So far we've got everything put back together. You can see I ordered some new springs. I found them on eBay, like $7. I've got the steering hooked up, including the steering is hooked up, the transmission is hooked up. You know, everything is back together. I took the transmission apart and made sure it was working. I gave it a spray down, but there's really not much to do there, surprisingly. So the next step is to make sure that the servos work. And then I'm gonna start working on the engine. So that's gonna be the next video, is working on the engine. Let's plug the power source into the receiver pack and the servo and see if that all works. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is plug in the battery pack. I just went with the 4 AA batteries since this is gonna be my first go around. I added a kill switch here, so I'm going to turn that on. All right, moment of truth. We have movement. So it looks like everything is hooked up correctly. One cool thing was, for the steering parts, you know, I'm finding these old parts on eBay, and I think this is like a vintage thing from like the late 90s. So I've got all of the, you know, the original components. You know, you can see them still on the, still in the plastic there. All right, so I think we're in pretty good shape in terms of the vehicle, the chassis, the frame, whatever. The next step is to get the engine rolling. I don't know exactly how it's all gonna fit, because if I look at it, you know, obviously this has to go here. So we're gonna see how that works.